started working as an expat in The Hague and I need some advice. Can you help me out?
It depends on your situation. If you still live abroad or in the Netherlands, or you moved during the year, what type of tax return needs to be filed, and whether you have a local employment contract or an employment contract abroad and you're assigned to the Netherlands. So it differs per situation.
I just moved to the Netherlands and I'm on a local contract at the moment.
So then we call you like an international hire.
Okay.
And then you have you live in the Netherlands. So then it's a migration form that needs to be filed, an M form it's called. You also have a P form, that's for a full year resident. If you remain living in the Netherlands, then the next year is a P form. And if you move abroad and you have certain income elements still in the Netherlands, such as real estate, then you file a C form. So that's the type of tax forms that you can file. Okay. But for you now it's a migration form. You need to file it, or you can start filing it as of March next year. In principle, it needs to be done before May 1st. Only if you're invited by the Dutch tax authorities. In the M form year, the migration year, it could very well be that you're not invited by the Dutch tax authorities. So then you're voluntary filing a tax return. It could be that, because the Dutch tax legislation is a bit strange on this, if you're invited, you must file a tax return. But if you're not invited and your tax return results in an amount payable, then you're still obliged to file a tax return. Of course, you only know if you actually prepare the tax return. So that's a bit vague of the Dutch tax legislation. But in most cases, for the M situation, for the migration year, you're not automatically invited. But it is, in most cases, the most beneficial year to file a tax return.
Okay.
The reason for that is because you came to the Netherlands during the year.
Yes.
And the payroll administration is withholding wage tax based on a monthly basis as if you would work a full year. But you're not working in the Netherlands a full year, so probably the wage tax withheld is too high. And that can only be received back via the Dutch income tax return.
You mentioned something about that I get an invite. But how does it work? How do I get into the system?
The invite is a blue envelope letter from the Dutch tax authorities. You know when you receive one.
My colleagues always mentioning those blue envelopes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what you receive, and then you're invited. If you also have a digit ID with a message box from the Dutch tax or from the government, you can also see there that you received the message that you were invited to file a Dutch income tax return.
Okay.
And the date of filing, the final date, is included in there. It's possible to request extension. If you do it yourself, it's in most cases a couple of months. If a tax advisor, such as Blue Turtle, does it, then it's still May 1st, the year after. So normally you file for 2023 tax return May 1st, 2024, but we can request extension till May 1st, 2025.
And those forms I can find on the website?
Yeah, you can log in with your digit ID on the tax authority site and you can try to do it yourself.
Okay.
It's pre-populated by the Dutch tax authorities, so but for the M form, it's incorrectly pre-populated. So if you file the M form automatically with what is pre-populated, it's incorrect. And they will not handle it. They will send a letter that you need to refile because it will not be handled because it's an incorrect form.
And I also heard something about the 30% ruling. What is it exactly? And does it apply in my situation?
So the 30% ruling is one of the major benefits to attract expats from abroad. It is important that in the employment contract a foreign address is stated there, otherwise you will get a discussion with the Dutch tax authorities and might not be eligible for it. Contract should state a foreign address, and it depends on how much time in the Netherlands you spent in the past. So the maximum eligibility period is 60 months, so 5 years. Periods of stay basically in the past will be deducted, and that's mainly if you spend more than 20 business days in a calendar year or more than 6 weeks vacations in a calendar year in the Netherlands. Then it will be deducted after 60 months, but otherwise you have 5 years after 30% ruling. And the 30% ruling means that you get 70% of your income is only considered taxable income, so 30% is paid out as a net amount. So it's untaxed, and that's the major benefit, of course, because it's mainly in the highest tax bracket. so in the 49.5%, and that part is not taxed, so you roughly save 50% taxes on it. There's a minimum to the 30% ruling. You must have, after the deduction of the 30% ruling, around 42,000 euros as a gross income. Lower it's not possible unless you're a student or under the age of 30 years and you have a master's degree, then there's separate legislation for that. And there's also a maximum of the 30% ruling. It's capped. It's around 200,000 euros. So yeah, above the 30% ruling is not applicable anymore. That recently changed. Other benefits of the 30% ruling is that you can change your driver's license to a Dutch driver's license without taking a driver's test. It's really nice, especially if you drive on the left side. Then it doesn't really tell if you're really good in driving, but yeah, that's one of the benefits it has. Of course, you still need to pay for the driver's license, but you can just make an appointment and get a Dutch driver's license. Also, the partner is eligible for the driver's license. So even if the partner doesn't have the 30% ruling, so your partner in this case, then you would also be eligible for the 30% ruling, for the driver's license. Another benefit is if you have children that go to an international school, that the employer can reimburse the international school costs as a net amount. So that's it's not really common to do so by the employer, because then it's unequal what the employees are getting. Because then if you have a child and other employee doesn't have a child, then you're getting more than the other employees. So what employers in most cases do in that case is that they say that part of your gross income can be paid out as a net amount. They used to call it cafetaria-regeling in Dutch, but it's that you just exchange a gross amount as a net amount, so you don't pay taxes on it. And for the employer, then the employee costs remain the same. There are some exceptions to it, but it roughly remains the same. Dus if you have 100,000 euros as a gross income, then 70,000 is considered taxable. And then, but if you say, okay, the international school fees, it can be 20,000 euros on an annual basis per child.
They're
so
high.
Then the 70,000 euros is lowered to 50,000 euros, and then that you save the taxes on that 20,000 euros. Another benefit that 30% ruling has is in the income tax return, you need to report your worldwide assets. So from the moment you immigrate onwards, you're taxable in the Netherlands for your worldwide income, but also for your worldwide assets. Now, if you have the 30% ruling, you can opt for the partial tax non-resident status, and that means that for your assets you are only taxable in the Netherlands similar as the tax non-resident, and that means that you're only taxable for real estate in the Netherlands. So that's a real big benefit. So you don't have to report any of your Dutch bank accounts, but also not your foreign bank accounts, no real estate outside the Netherlands, and also no share accounts or investment accounts. So that's really, that's a really benefit of having a 30% ruling.
Jan, that was very helpful. Thank you very much. It was also a lot of information. Can you give a short summary?
You came in to the Netherlands as an international hire, and because you came in there, you need to file a migration form. You might be eligible for the 30% ruling, which is the major benefit of being in the Netherlands and being an expat. There are some requirements for that, but it has many benefits, such as changing your driver's license, the partial tax non-resident status in your income tax return, and the international school fees. If you want to come to the Netherlands, it has many tax benefits, so I would come.